walk past the Red Bull. And now we've got a couple of battling Ferraris. In today's video, I'm going to try and make a case for the Argentine or the Argentinian Grand Prix to return to the F1 calendar, because this track is pretty insane. I'm talking about Termas Del Rio Hondo, which currently features on the MotoGP Championship calendar, and we're going to try and bring some F1 cars to the circuit because I think F1 should return to Argentina. Right then, here we go. First of all, we're going to do a first lap of action, and then we'll start talking about the circuit. So, leave a like if you're going to enjoy it, and subscribe for more as I do daily F1 content, and I've got more videos like this on the channel. I've recently done the Malaysian Grand Prix, which should return to F1, link in the top right. Go check that one out, and I'll leave a link down below to the car and the circuit if you guys want to check these out. But anyway, waffle aside, let's get into it. Through turn 1 and turn 2, we managed to get a couple of cars, as we are currently dealing with freezing cold tyres, so we have to be careful here. I am on the mediums, even though it's a red wall. I don't have the correct texture on, but we're on the same tyres as the AI on the C3 compound, or maybe even the C4 actually. Either way, look at this straight, absolutely massive, down into a heavy brake zone, hairpin. Gonna take it easy here just to try and get that front tyre temp. Rears are nice and warm now, so we can start to traction up. We might get the run here on this Aston Martin, which I think is Sebastian Vettel. Gonna slam on the brakes. We're running on maximum difficulty and 35% AI aggression as we get the run on Seb here. Gonna try and go around the outside. And there we go, we get it done. Whoa! Jesus, that is a Assetto Corsa for you. That's why I have damage off. Right, so that's a Haas we've lost. Contact with an AlphaTauri as we head into the final couple of corners. But let's talk about the layout and the raceability, which is something I think would work really well. So it's a 1 minute 15-ish lap, and for these new F1 cars I think it's going to work quite well. It's actually reasonably wide, even though MotoGP races here is a very wide circuit for most parts of the lap. You've got this little kind of medium to lowish speed turn 1, turn 2 complex, and then you kick out onto turn 3. Now, if you have a good setup, a good car, you can work well in that, mechanical grip section, and then you have a kilometre-long straight, as you can see here, to get wheel to wheel with someone, and then you can actually lunge it into the hairpin if you want to, and you're going to get a second chance because even though this is a left-hander, it's essentially just another straight and a second chance to get back in the slipstream and try again into this next hairpin, which I wasn't able to do on Albon in this case. But we get the cutback, and through here you can take a wide line and get the power down early, or you can go nice and tight at the expense of some traction. We then head into an off-camber left, and then you're back on the power yet again for another flat-out section as we lose a car on the left there, and another chance to get a run down into the final hairpin. Imagine this, last lap of the race, by the way. Those kind of scenarios. Hairpin, which feeds into a little bit of a chicane, and we've seen in the motorbikes, and I think in F1 as well, there could be a couple of dramatic moments there, whether it's passing into the hairpin or maybe getting a cutback and actually getting them out of the final kink onto the pit finish straight. So I think this would be an excellent choice. F1 used to race in Argentina about 25 years ago in the late 90s. That circuit, I can't remember the name, but I don't think it exists anymore, and if it does, it wouldn't currently work for F1 cars, as I remember it was a super narrow and tight circuit. But this one is built for these cars, and it provides excellent motorcycle racing. And I think, as you see me pass the McLaren with DRS here into the hairpin, this will also suit the F1 cars, as the McLaren holds on right the outside, but we get the traction down and we get in front. You could have 3 DRS zones: the main straight, the back straight, and this curved left kind of straight that we just done just now. I think those would work quite well. And yeah, I think you've got a good balance of, some low speeds and medium speed corners, some nice flat out sections which go into heavy brake zones, which is always going to provide for overtaking as we breeze past the Haas there. And we're now up into the top 10. I love this corner though, this hairpin's so technical as we're getting a bit hot, and that's going to provide the Haas a chance to fire back, but we managed to plant our car nicely. You can even move the finish line further back, so you get a bit of a drag race scenario, if you were to have a last lap shootout. So definitely one that I would like F1 to consider for sure. Anyway, track talk aside, let's get to work then. So we're in the points, and I'm chasing a podium. 10-lap race, and we have 6 more laps to go when we cross the line. Let's see if we can make some progress. Up next we have one of the Alfa Romeos as we porpoise like crazy. The Alfa's in a bit hot, and that is Joe Guan Yu. We're going to open DRS, so actually it might have been Bottas, but we're going to open the DRS through here, as this would be quite realistic. And we can now chase after the AlphaTauri. I believe that is Yuki, I think. Let's find out. We'll catch up through here. We're pretty strong through this part of the circuit. Over the crest, and now into the flat out left. It's actually a great hot lapping layout, and that was Noda, by the way. Getting the run of the McLaren here. You can see there, he was just covering the inside a little bit, and I had to back off. That was Lando, who I tried to pass. DRS open on the pit straight as we get the run down to turn 1. Lando, though, holding on. Good defensive driving, to be fair. This is what I mean. I think the layout provides good raceability as well. Lots of options for cutbacks. You know, all those kind of racing moves that you like to pull off. There we go. Easy move. P7. As we now break into the top 6 and try to catch up to the big boys. Let's enjoy some engine sound for a bit. Might get the run on the Alpine here. This is what I mean, the straight is so long. We're going to get that chance. You could probably even not have a DRS zone on this straight, it's that long. As we get past Ocon. A little bit hot on the brakes. Ocon tries to get back underneath, but we just do enough and we get the job done. But yeah, you could definitely mix it up. I mean, you could have DRS, just 2 zones instead of 3. But I think you'd have some crazy racing if you had, you know, the DRS on the back straight and then that left-handed kind of straight after you got DRS again. You know, you're going to have just constant interchanging and swapping for position. We're currently P6. We're now chasing down the top 5. Now I believe this is the big boys. So we've got a Merc, 2 Ferraris and 2 Red Bulls to hunt down. First off, it's going to be one of the Red Bulls. Let's see if we can pick them off. Also, let's see what this lap's going to be, so it should be a bit of a better lap. Nope, that mistake just cost us. Currently sitting in the 118s. I think we can put it like a 115, I think, out of full push. With no battling or traffic or anything. Right, we're catching up now to this podium battle. To be fair, the pace from the AI has been pretty solid. But hopefully we can start to make some progress now. Not sure which Red Bull this is. I'm assuming it's going to be Checo, but you never know. Hopefully have DRS on the next lap as we lock the rears there, just trying to push a bit too much. This is what I mean, you can take lots of different lines through here. This time I ran in a bit deep, so I cut back and I took a tight exit. But now we're going to really close in through here as this is our strongest part of the lap. And we're going to get 2 racing laps to try and get this podium. Into the final hairpin, the Red Bull's in a bit wide. Struggle for traction, so the exit isn't the best, but anyway, we're still going to get the run down to turn 1. Side by side, it is Checo, and he stays in front for now. Also, the Ferrari's battling up ahead. Going to try and set up the exit through here. We know we've got some very good straight line speed, so I intend to use it. Here we go. DRS. We walk past the Red Bull. Now we've got a couple of battling Ferraris. Although Checo back up the inside, and he gets past, to be fair. The leader's already on the final lap, which is absolutely insane. Back down the inside of Checo though. And he's fighting back. I have to leave some space. Perez back through. This is a decent little scrap, and now you're really starting to see the raceability of this circuit. Come on, we're strong through here. We'll cut underneath, and we'll get the Ferrari as well. On the braking. Bit of a lock up still there though. Nice, excellent move. Nice and wide, lots of space to make the move. Last lap of the race. Can we bag a podium here? This is going to be very interesting. I think Carlos Sainz ahead. Important to try and nail this section and get the run on the back straight. There we go. Very nicely done through the first sector. DRS open. Here we go, closing in on the Ferrari, moving the brake bar slightly towards the rear to avoid locking. Not quite able to go for the move on the braking there. Sainz holds on. We'll get the DRS open again to try and fight back. This is going to go down to the final hairpin. You know it is. Oh, that's a nice line through there. Got the traction, got the front grip to go in early. Going to take a nice wide line through here to really set up the run over the hill. And now flat out through here. We'll get underneath Sainz and we'll go through before the hairpin. Brake early, take a nice tight line. Sainz tries to fight it, but we plant our car nicely on the tarmac and we cross the line in P3. That's what I'm talking about, baby. And there you go then. Hopefully you enjoyed it, guys. That is what F1 would look like at Argentina, especially at Termas Del Rio Hondo, which of course is a MotoGP current circuit on the calendar. So give me your thoughts in the comments down below. I think genuinely, if F1 to expand the calendar and make things interesting, rather than have, 5 races in the US, let's go Argentina, man. Different country, something different for the drivers, and it adds to the calendar, I think, in many ways. And I think it's an excellent layout with some really good racing possibilities. But I'll leave the links down below, guys, to the car and the circuit mod. As always, check out the 2 videos on screen at the end of this video, guys, if you haven't seen them already. And a big shout out to the members. As always, leave a like and subscribe. That's the key thing in this one, guys. I really want to try and push for 100k. The channel's been going slowly lately, so any help would really help me out. But yeah, as always, massive shout out to everyone that helps the channel out, comments, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. But that was what F1 would look like at the Argentinian Grand Prix if it were to return in 2023.